Hi, Alan here. I've been growing some mango trees from seed or from their stone, like this. That's just an ordinary mango stone, as we call it. And once you cut all the flesh off to eat, they're always coated still with a lot of flesh, and they get swarm of ants on them until it dries out and all of the flesh has dried. But bloody ants, we got ants here everywhere. You've only got to brush against a bush and you get ants on you. Those fire ants, they try to eat you. Just bite, bite, bite. There's nothing much to it. But this one, look, it's cracking open already. Look, I didn't have to do any work for this one. Well, maybe. So what I usually do, some people try and break that open. They don't normally open like this. Not sure why, but some people try and open. I nearly cut my hand off trying to do that. So what I do now is I cut round them. Just you have to be very careful that you don't cut the baby's head off. They don't always cut very easy either. Maybe this one's not dry enough, but nevertheless, I'm sure we can get it open. And inside the stone, you have the seed. Now, they always look different to me, and I have been burying them on their side, and it's not been very successful. You're supposed to be able to plant them upright, but you need to know which is a shoot and which is a root, which I don't. Anyway, I have one here that's just germinated. You see this? I stood it upright, and this is the result. And look, there's a second shoot there. They very often come up with two shoots. So maybe it doesn't matter which way up you bury this, but I'd have said that way up, I think. It's really difficult to tell. But out of the last 5 that I put in soil, this is the only one that's actually germinated. And I've had last year and the year before, I had much more success. So we'll plant this one in a minute, I think. So I have a bag of soil here, and I'm going to put it in this way up, and see what happens. We'll keep it well watered and see what happens. Well, our seed doesn't seem to have done too well. You can see the seed has turned green from the light, which is great. And then there was 2 shoots that came up. One of them, this one here, is dead, and this one's dying. And normally they come up either side, or very often. So it's a bit away. It's a little bit away from the seed, so I'm not even sure whether that's something I buried before or whether it is actually the seed. So we best have a look. Check it out. Well, oh, it is from that seed, look. But I don't give that much hope, as that one's dying. It's sad, really. It's germinated and then died. Maybe it was too much water. Oh, anyway, here's one I did earlier. I think that one's ready to plant out. And the one I showed you first time, that's ready to plant out. So I'll get those planted out. Here's one I planted 2 years ago, and it's been growing well, growing healthily. And you see the first, all the new leaves come out brown for some reason, and then they slowly turn green. So this is a nice example, and it'll eventually look like this. And my plan, you see, it's so hot here that the soil dries out too quick. So the idea is a row of bushy trees either side of, well, I want three. We got coconut trees on the far end, and then in the middle I want more of these, and down here more of these, and then we've got banana trees. But the idea is to have rows of trees that will give the ground shade and keep it moist. It dries out so quick, and I've got a sprinkler, and I have to irrigate the land non-stop through the summer. And we're nearly into the rain season. I can stop watering the garden because everything's looking a little bit droopy. It's not dying, but stuff is looking droopy. Anyway, it's a lovely plant, a lovely tree actually. Here's one I planted last year. They're not very fast growers, but they're very hardy. They do very well. They like the hot weather. Another one I planted last year, and this one's got a side shoot and new leaves coming. It's doing quite well. Yeah, it's doing quite well. This is a strange one. This has got two stems, two trunks coming out of the ground from the seed. Like I've said, some of them have two shoots, but one of them just seriously died off. Look, just dry brittle leaves. No idea why that is. While this one is beautiful and putting out new leaves. Look, the brown ones. So I suppose this will just die off and fall away. But they're beautiful trees, and I love mangoes. They're just so one of my favourite fruits, I think, if not the favourite fruit. Don't get much flesh on them because it's normally the stone's a lot bigger than the one I just showed you. But yeah, they're beautiful, and you can grow them even in England in pots, but you'd have to bring it inside or have a decent greenhouse. And so you can grow them in England. Whether they'll fruit or not, I don't know. Probably. Mine are all fruit. Well, the older ones are fruiting. So who knows? Give it a try. Give it a try. Buy a mango. You've only got to buy a mango and cut the stone out. And might be best to soak it for a little while, for a couple of days, to really hydrate the seed before you put it in the pot. Look at these leaves. Look, it's unbelievable. Anyway, I hope that that's been of interest. If it is, please give me a like and subscribe. It would help me out no end. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.